All right, I suppose when you're ready.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, boys and squirrels, here we are. Once again, Logan, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing fine.
All right. You know, folks, our interesting relationship that we have here, Logan's he's always kind of miserable. He's angry. He's pissed off. And guess what? So am I. But when I get with him, I got to pretend to be the happy one here and cheer him up. Well, are you happy?
Relieved, I guess, yeah. Kind of shocked. I thought it'd be more of a battle.
Me too. I mean, totally. Well, first of all, I was going to say to everybody, I was wrong. All right. I will always admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong. I worried Donald Trump wasn't even going to make it to November 5th with lawfare or whatever. It was, we saw July 13th. You just don't know. And holy cow. I mean, wow. I mean, I felt, Logan, like I was telling you, we were talking off camera that, like this is what should happen. But to believe this would happen, I mean, I had my daughter even say to me, and she's on the other side of the fence, well, what if neither one of them gets to 270? I thought, well, watch, there'll be some weird thing like that, and there'll be, a few states that are held up. And even as of this recording right now, they don't have all the states completely in, but Donald Trump is at 276 electoral votes. Is that right now? Okay, so very good. So it's already there. He is president-elect. He will be our 47th president. I mean, wowie wow. Holy cow. Doug, I owe you a bottle of wine. No, not Doug Emhoff. No, not that Doug. Not that Doug. No, very cool Doug. And so, yeah, Doug, I owe you a bottle of wine. And wow, stock market, Logan, going through the roof here. Dow, was over 1,000 points?
It was like 1,200, I think.
Oh, my God. Yeah, at one point it was 1,300. I mean, who knows if that'll hold, to close at 3 o'clock Central or 4 p.m. Eastern, but wowie wow. So yeah, I mean the market's not freaking out because they were pushing that agenda like, oh, he's going to pull these tariffs in, it's going to raise all prices on everything. He's trying to talk about using tariffs as a sort of a threat and try to get more companies to stay here in the United States and not have to go, take the jobs overseas, that kind of a thing, and try to get us better trade deals. That's what the whole tariff thing's ultimately, hopefully, about. I hope it's all about the art of the deal and, hopefully the best thing for our country, again, America first. Is that such a bizarre concept? Well, it was for decades, and that's the whole reason Trump got elected the first time.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so holy cow, man. I mean, it's crazy. Now, we got a few negative things to get into, and as I said, I've admitted before, I am a Gemini, and so this is going to be a little Jekyll and Hyde here, and my buddy here is a Libra, so I need him to balance me out a little bit. So we got lots to talk about, but I mean, obviously, holy cow. I mean, wow. I am stunned in a positive way, dude. I really am. Wow. I mean, this is great. America has spoken. And what is it? Is it African American males and Latino males that pushed it over the edge, and they looked at her like, no. Was it gay men of any stripe? I mean, I know I'll be a little funny here, but they we'll put this movie out, this Apprentice movie out. Well, the movie I've never seen yet. I will see. The guy who plays Roy Cohn, in real life, Roy Cohn was gay. I don't know, they're making like he was Trump's mentor, and then Trump does this last minute thing about, Arnold Palmer's the golf legends, his male member. I mean, I don't know, folks. I'm just trying a little fun here. I don't know, it was an extra gay thing. Gays were like, I don't know about Kamala. I don't know. Wait, what was it? I mean, you got any ideas about this? I mean, for me, I think, I'll just say this. I think Trump and the media does not want to admit this. They will not want to admit this. He has a huge coalition for all the hate. People want to hate him, and there's a big coalition there too. But I think Trump developed this huge big tent, which any winner ultimately needs to do. You need to have people from all different stripes, from all different demographic groups. And I think that's what he did. He got all these different people basically going, hey, inflation, I'm paying too much for things. This is wrong. This is bad. The economy people, they were trying to help. The stock market, did hit a lot of highs this year. Gas prices, thank goodness, did come down this year. But still, a lot of things, they call it sticky. A lot of inflation, really sticky. And everybody feels that. No matter how you feel about this issue or that issue, you got to pay more for frickin' groceries at the store. You feel that. That's not just oh, well, I feel this way about abortion, or I feel this way about the environment, or I feel this way about gun control. You directly have to pay more for eggs, whatever, meat, whatever you're doing at the grocery store. So I think it was a broad coalition. I really do, of everybody, of all of us, America, because we are the great melting pot, and that's what I think. I think he had I don't know, you got any thoughts on that?
Well, I think his campaign really did well. I mean, yeah, they brought together people, but it's the only time that either party has really been able to grab a mix of people. I mean, you have someone, Tulsi Gabbard, you got RFK, you got even Elon Musk, all people that were more left standing,
Yeah, totally.
8 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And they've been forced over that line to the right, not necessarily by their own means, but just because of how crazy it went one direction, right? How extreme it went, and just pushed everything off to that other side of this line. And it touched a lot of people. I mean, it's not just, this MAGA group, it's common sense folks. I don't think it's a race thing. I think it's just an American,
right.
We're done with this shit.
Exactly.
This was the hopefully the final fuck you to this establishment. Really. I mean, because nothing a part of what's happening with the Trump campaign was establishment. I mean, even RFK, he was like the black sheep of his family.
His family and the Democrat Party. Right?
Tulsi, kind of the same thing. She had this epiphany within her own self, just seeing how shit just got really crazy. I mean, even look at her. She was the outcast after
2016.
After Hillary. After she said the stuff to Hillary, she was immediately a Russian agent.
Oh yeah.
So these are all outcasts that have been seen to be pushed out in this manner. People they see. I think everyone's starting to see through it. So I'm more shocked at how many votes Kamala still got. I still don't trust those numbers. I mean, I showed you that graph earlier too. Where I showed the election just from the Biden ones, and there was such a lesser turnout for Biden or for Kamala compared to Biden.
Maybe sometime you got to put that on and show the people that
it's just a
from
good
2020 to today.
It makes you think, really, they didn't steal 2020. That's an amazing turnout number.
I know.
And this is supposed to be the most important for the first black woman president, 2 firsts in one sentence, and she still couldn't even get close to the old rickety white man. So it's not a country thing. It's not a racist thing. And that proves it more than anything right there.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
She was a shitty candidate.
I couldn't believe, like we were saying, everyone, so many others have said that Biden, got more votes in 2020 than Obama had gotten. Obama was a legitimately charismatic, personable, very popular figure. And that this old hack who got basically laughed off the political stage in 1988. Kids, look that up if you don't know what I'm talking about. He did, because he was plagiarizing other politicians' speeches, and some of the people in the media actually did their job back in 1988. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but yeah, this old hack who just hangs around forever, that he finally became the president. I mean, 2020 was just weird. So, I think they'll always have an asterisk by it. It'll be
it's going to be, I mean, again, after this election, it's hard to refute that there wasn't some kind of
shenanigans
going on during the 2020.
Yeah, and at the very least, there was above board shenanigans where the media they did not report honestly about Hunter Biden's laptop.
Which has been said to be an actual significant
that's a real thing that may have swayed some people.
Then it comes out that it was true, a year ago. It's actually fucking true. And the 51 intelligence officers, no repercussions for any of them. They outright lied to the American public about this. They should be stripped of all their security clearances. They should be done. They should be fired.
Right.
If not, fucking treasonous jail time. I mean, you lied to the
American people.
To sway an election. That's pretty fucked up. But in any case, as far as Trump, I think it's because everyone's tired with the bullshit we just talked about. It's the same old rigmarole. It's never going to change. And it seemed to kind of come to an end, at least a little bit, the first Trump go around. But I think he surrounded himself with bad people that he wasn't quite in the know. So I think this time around
he's admitted that a little bit. Mm-hmm. He still praises a lot of his old crew, but he does admit that. And hopefully, I'm very excited about his transition team. I really hope that RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard and others that are he's got a good team around him right now. If he can just stick with these people and they can guide him in the right way. And, Vivek Ramaswamy, what a great year he's had. He's really made himself known. He's definitely a future player, I think, in American politics. Tulsi, obviously, as well. I mean, and that's the cool thing about Trump. They used to say, like, a lot of politicians, when they'd win that second term, oh, well, they're a lame duck. No, I think it's great now. This is great. He's got 4 years. He can get a lot done. He can piss a lot of people off,
right?
But as long as he gets it done for us, the American people.
Because he doesn't have to worry for, like, a re-election.
Yeah, he doesn't have to worry about raising money.
Full bore. Go.
Yeah, you just go, get things done.
And hopefully set it up for a potential J.D. Vance, depending on how this works.
Sure,
or
absolutely.
some kind of combination ticket of any of the said people we just talked about.
I wasn't happy initially when J.D. was the choice. I thought he should go with somebody else if you watch our shows. But I think JD's handled himself pretty well. So
to me, the Rogan interview.
You put that there. You go. Well, there you go. That's what also we say. That coalition. Oh yeah, there you go.
Such a great conversation.
Thanks for bringing that up.
I mean, and I know he's done other podcasts with other people. I just haven't had time. So, but when it came up on Rogan, I wanted to see what he had to say. I wanted to compare the two. A good between Joe and then Trump, and then Joe and JD. I think Trump was fine.
And he was on there a long time, right?
3 hours.
I mean, he's an older guy. He's busy with the campaign, and 3 hours. Did Kamala give anybody 3 hours?
No,
I know she went on some podcasts too. Obviously, it didn't really help her.
Yeah, nothing was going to help her. She was never going to win. Nothing.
You think about that. It has been history where. We're just a couple little guys trying here, right? But the podcasters, all of a sudden, I mean, he went on Rogan, he went on PBD, he went on Theo Vaughn.
Yeah, Fragrant with Andrew Schultz.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one, but yeah, I mean, he went on several, and give him a lot of credit. One of the coolest things about the campaign too, both Vivek and Donald Trump over the summer went to the Libertarian Convention. And, they were giving him crap. You could find that on YouTube, I'm sure. They were yelling at him and stuff. I mean, and that's where a lot of my heart is, philosophically anyway, with the Libertarian people. It's too bad about Chase Oliver. But anyway, he ran, and, we'll see what happens in the future. But yeah, I think all of that was different. No major party candidate ever gone to one of these so-called fringe third party things and go to their convention and try to speak to their voters. Hey, come on, vote for me. It's kind of a humbling thing for Trump to do, especially a guy who's supposed to be as narcissistic and as arrogant as Trump is supposed to be. I thought it was really cool. And again, there's probably some libertarians who their heart, like me, was with Chase Oliver, but they're like, no, my head's I got to go with Trump. I just got, I don't like certain this, but no, I got to hold my nose. I got to go with Trump. So I think, I forget the lady's name. He tried to bring her on stage and
then her husband.
And then she got a little shy.
Kind of awkward.
But ma'am, is it Susie? I forget what her name was. I'm so sorry, ma'am, but you did a great job. And I could tell, especially here in the last few months, it's like he's got different people working. He's got some smart people here doing some different things than he did in the past. You know what I mean? So I don't know if she had the influence. But I gotta find. I'll find her name in a future show and give her props. Was it Susie or Julie? Yeah, she did great. She did great stuff. Go ahead.
I forget now.
No, I mean.
So again, I think a big thing with him getting it, his voice out again was the podcast thing.
Yeah.
Like he didn't do any interviews really on prime time, other than the two debates and maybe one or two interviews. He did everything online. I think that was a big push. That was
really going to the people,
right?
And it was smart. It really was smart. Yeah, and I thought, wow, who's telling him to do this? So I don't know if it was his campaign manager. Again, she did a great job, ma'am. You did awesome. I'll get your name and I'll give you props at a future time. I can think maybe it was his kids too. Maybe they were telling him.
I think they.
Hey, Dad.
Again,
you gotta go here, Dad.
The first time around, he did well, but he had just the wrong fucking people around him. Now he's surrounded himself with better people, more family, I guess, if that's the case. And it definitely fucking worked out. I mean, his kids were pumping out interviews. The John Jr. all the time. He had his own podcast. Always out, speaking on TV. Eric doing the same thing. So it's.
And then working with Tucker too,
Yeah.
and those appearances with people like him. And I agree with you. I think people like Tucker Carlson, of all people, and there's a time I didn't like that guy too much. Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., seeing even lefties kind of like Russell Brand, give Donald Trump props, and people outsiders from outside the country like Jordan Peterson, Canadian guy, and people like Brett Weinstein, who again, these are people who are probably their politics probably lean more to the left in their earlier days. And here they were all this interesting coalition, all coming together in this very big tent, big umbrella, and I think it's beautiful. And I'm pleasantly surprised. But let's talk about Kamala and the Democrats. You and I, look at this. We're just a couple knuckleheads here, folks. That's all we are. Trying to have a little fun, trying to be the next Rogan, trying to be the next PBD. And, we said, what are you guys doing? Everybody can see that Biden looks weak. You need to have, he should have been debating with, I think, RFK Jr., who originally ran in the Democrat Party. Democrats remember this. I said this. We said this on this show. If RFK had been allowed to run by the Democrat Party against Joe Biden in the primaries, they would have changed everything real soon. And all of a sudden, Newsom would have come in. Not that I would have liked that. Gretchen Whitmer. A bunch of them all would have jumped in, and Kamala would not have gotten the nomination. No. And it would have been some other ticket. In the fantasy world, could have been RFK and Tulsi, versus Trump Vance. That, I'm not saying that would have happened. I'm saying, maybe. You never really know. And American politics hasn't really been this way for a long time. But in the end of the day, if you're going to have a stupid two-party system, and again, I'm a guy who's, I've told our audience, I've told you, my heart's from the third party. I used to vote a lot of third-party stuff. In the end of the day, you'd like to have two decent people run against each other. So whoever wins, we're going to be okay, and not one. Well, this one's this devil, but this one's a worse devil. So which is usually unfortunate what we deal with. But yeah, so I am pleasantly surprised. I think it was a very unorthodox and unconventional campaign that may change the way people in both parties do campaigns going forward, and the whole media system. It may change a lot of things here.
Well, I think the media is dead. I think
media.
I really think Twitter had a huge impact on his campaign, at least. The whole free speech.
Oh, that too. Yeah, X, Twitter, yeah. And Elon Musk, and yeah, thank you, Mr. Musk. I still got mixed feelings about you, but you are a very interesting dude, and thank goodness for buying Twitter. Yeah.
Right. I think it changed a lot. Otherwise, you would have had a bigger mass of
disinformation on their side. On their side.
I think it would have been definitely worse off. So
absolutely,
I think a lot of things helped, and it was the perfect storm, more or less, to have this red wave that everyone denied was going to happen in 2020. It was just delayed. But I think this was a big win for America. I really do. He better clean the swamp out, like you said.
Well, yeah.
We better get out of Ukraine.
I'm with you there too, and to our audience. I'm not Mr. I'm going to kiss your ass thing. If he strays off, I'm going to say something. Hopefully Logan won't get too mad at me, or whatever, or maybe hopefully we'll be in agreement. But he's got a lot to do. He's got a mountain of problems to deal with. Obviously, the national debt is one of my big issues. It always has been. The border. It's not just about illegal immigrants. It's the drugs. It's the human trafficking. We got a lot of things there to deal with. And they got all these departments. Folks, come on now. You people on the left, education. The Department of Education was set up under Jimmy Carter, who's still alive. Oh, my God. Is he still alive? Jimmy Carter, 39th president, I think. Anyway, and where are we today? Why don't you look at the facts? We're way down in math, America. This is sad. The Department of Education is a joke. They need to either cut the thing in half or cut it out just completely. Just end the thing and let each state, because each state has their own Department of Education more or less anyway. And that, just do that. There's so much of that in so many departments. And obviously, RFK Jr., I'm excited. You were talking about the, was it FDA or is it?
Disband all departments of the FDA.
Ooh, Yeah, there's never been any corruption in the Food and Drug Administration. No. You know, you wouldn't think. No, a little anything payola under the table for, you know, getting their drug fast-tracked, you know, whether it's cholesterol or ED or
vaccines.
Vaccines or heart state, you know. No, that would never happen, Logan. No, not in Washington, D.C., District of Columbia. No, that would never happen. No. But we'll just get RFK in there and just, you know, just take a look around, check everything out, make sure we're all in the up and up. Yeah. I'm very excited about that. Very, very excited. And then you think, go back to Kamala here for a second. All the celebrities. I mean, there was all kinds of celebrities, music, movies. Oh, I saw J-Lo. She was almost crying. Oh, at the thought. Oh, poor J-Lo. She's a good actress.
I think this killed any more. You'll never see any celebrity endorsements again used like this. I don't think you'll see it.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think, again, Trump celebrities from Tucker to you know, like I say, Russell Brand and Jordan Peterson, even people that didn't do direct campaigning with him, just did things talking about for him in front of people. Tulsi Gabbard, all these people, the people that he just got, Dana White, we talk, you know, all these people, I think they actually meant more in this situation. These other people, they have some talents, but I mean, and New Jersey, and I'm sorry, just indulge me for a second. New Jersey, what did you do? Oh my God, Bon Jovi, he wrote a song, I think, for Kamala. It was just worthless. Bovey, it's over, okay? And if you're going to keep doing this, bring Richie Sambuca back, okay? And then Bruce Springsteen, I'm going to die on your window on the street tonight, an everlasting kiss. Huh! No, you're done. The boss, nobody cares about you. Nobody cares. Oh, you did a dinner, you did a thing with you and Obama. Oh, you talked, and then you're supporting Kamala. You don't matter. You got some songs. People like your music. That's nice. We don't need your politics. You're a limousine liberal. You've been rich for decades, pal. And good for you. Good for you, buddy. Yeah, Born to Run is good. Born in the USA. I like a couple of your tunes. Oh my gosh. I mean, and then Oprah. I mean, man, this woman, I mean, she made Dr. Oz, and he ends up running Republican. She made Dr. Phil, and he ends up kind of seemed like he was leaning more on the Trump side of things. Mm-hmm. You know, and she herself had Trump on her show several times, going back decades, and he would even kind of be flirtatious with her and say, well, I'll run for president only if you're going to be my running mate. I mean, you can find that, folks. It's out there. I think it was in the 90s, maybe. I mean, it just, I don't know. But yeah, they all were getting behind Kamala and nothing. The big nothing burger. Wow, Democrats, you guys got a lot of soul searching to do, okay? You might have your Trump hate and your Trump derangement syndrome, but you need to look a little bit inward. Yeah, maybe she should have went with Josh Shapiro, because Pennsylvania a little more consequential than Minnesota. There's a lot of different things you need to think about there. A lot of things that went wrong. Holy cow. But yeah, the future concerns, those are huge. Trump does got a lot of challenges, folks. Interesting dates coming up, Logue. There's still that November 26th court date in New York. Is the certification, does that land on January 6th again? The certification of the votes may actually land on January 6th. And you know what? Kamala, as the acting VP, which is the president of the Senate, our vice president is the president, so she may actually have to preside over that.
And do the confirmation.
I do the confirmation. Gore had to do this with the Bush win in 2000. I actually felt bad about Gore that one. Oh, and Alan Lichtman. Alan Lichtman, who is he? Oh, God, he's one of these presidential predictors. He was never wrong except for 2000, but I know, Alan, you were probably right about 2000. I think Gore got stolen from him. I do. I think Logan agrees with that. But he was wrong. He thought Kamala was going to win, this guy, Alan Lichtman. I think Nate Silver, the other famous presidential predictor, I think he was right. So congratulations to Nate if I got that right there. And sorry, Alan. Well, you had a pretty good run there, pal. So many things, Logan. I mean, anything else that really sticks out to you about this election cycle? Again, I think we're both in the camp of pleasantly surprised. Mm-hmm. We still have this long walk, though, folks. Let's keep in mind to January 20th, another key date. I think that's the inauguration date. And will Trump, as you say, will he try to settle this Ukraine-Russian thing in the meantime? That's a tall order, because once a mess like this gets started, I mean, it's.
He claims he can do it, so we'll see how. I mean, if he can pull that off and just be president-elect and still have the ties and the push and the sway.
Oh, that'd be beautiful. He should get the Nobel Peace Prize.
Then I think anything he's promised along the way, I think he should be able to do without problem. Especially if he gets. I mean, it looks like the House and the Senate are both going to be.
And thank you for bringing that up. So did you hear what Logan just said there? Because what's exciting about Donald Trump, for me, Logan, is that, and again, I've said this on our earlier shows, I want MAGA to mean something. I don't want MAGA just to be jingoism, and this is what you say for this campaign, and then these guys go away, and then they change it all into something else. No, I want it to mean something. I want it to mean something for the next candidates in the future, 2028 and beyond. It's got to mean something to these people. And I think within the Republican Party, there is a revolution. There's an inner reformation going on here, and you Democrats probably need it too. Excuse me. And there's a lot of Republicans I don't trust. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them, and then they're still there. So Trump's going to have to deal with them. He's going to have to deal with them as well as deal with the Democrats, and so it's still going to be a very interesting situation going forward.
We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in closing, buddy, I want to just say a couple things. Change the pace a little bit here. Everybody, go forth and love one another. I know there's a lot of people are hurt, a lot of anger out there, a lot of frustration. I think we got a lot of things going on in the world that are still very, very concerning on the international stage. I'm sure we're going to be talking more about those things in future shows. Obviously, things with China, things with Russia, the Middle East, and Israel, and Iran, and Lebanon, all that. So all that's still there. A lot to deal with here, folks. It's unfortunately. It's not going to be boring. I don't think so at all. We got a lot of things that still have to be reconciled and dealt with. So we shall see how it goes. Love one another, everybody, and realize, we're all just passing through. At the end of the day, this life is short. We're all just passing through. Music world just lost the great Quincy Jones. He was 91 years old. I don't know if you were familiar with Quincy. He was a producer for the Thriller album for Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. He worked with a lot of different people. He did a lot of soundtracks for TV and movies, and really interesting guy who came from a hard upbringing in the hood, found music and just went with it and became a major, major success. And for those who like Quincy Jones or love great music, look for Everything Must Change. Quincy Jones, he's the conductor at the Montreux Jazz Festival. I think it was in the late 90s, maybe. Shaka Khan's there. Mick Hucknall of Simply Red's there. It's a beautiful, beautiful rendition of that song. And from the great Quincy Jones, and Bernard Engler, I think, who wrote it. Also, I just want to say a very special happy birthday to Helen Dorothy, my grandmother, 101 a few days ago. Can't believe it. Holy cow. I think she was hoping for a Kamala win, but sorry about that, Grandma. We can't have everything. But I love you, Grandma. You're an amazing human being, and I'm very fortunate to be your grandson. Sad note. And it's just one of those reminders that all of us, I mean, my grandma turned 101, but my doctor, she passed away unexpectedly. I just got a note in the mail, and I won't mention her last name, but I'll just say Dr. Nadia. She's of Russian and Ukrainian descent, and she's my doctor, and very unexpected health situation. So all the best to her family. And, just a reminder, all of us, we're all just passing through at the end of the day. Let's all try to love each other and get through this life together. Logan, any closing comments today?
Nope.
Well, I think you don't want to join me in this? No. Okay, I was just going to say 1, 2, 3. Woo! All right. Thank you, America. God bless everybody. No, I was also, it's still rolling, that's all right. I was going to go into the Rolling Stones thing. I think I still lost my throat here. My son tried to choke me to death a couple weeks ago. But I think it was funny when Trump used that on the first campaign.